I was able to bring back 24 seeds, 48 seeds. So I planted 24 out. And this is the beginning of an experiment. Now, the first time out with the 24 seeds, to do this, I'm going to have to go around and cover each one of the silk of each one of the ears with a little baggie, so that nothing pollinates it until I'm ready to pollinate it with the tassels on the top of the plant. But I'm going to bag those and save the pollen, right? And then when the pollen is ready, I'll turn it around and I will take. I've got a plant here, and a plant here, and a plant here. Let's call this one A, and this one's B, and this one's C. We have to take the pollen from B to plant A, the pollen from C to plant B, and the pollen from A to plant C. See what I mean? So A doesn't pollinize A, B doesn't pollinize B, C doesn't pollinize C. That's how you get a little bit more of a variety. The second year out, we have to grow about 600 plants. My garden is smaller than this circle. So what we're going to have is some people that are going to grow out and help me with this purple dent. We're calling this, because I'm an old rock and roller, we call this purple haze, right? Or purple maze. So that's one of the things that's going on, and one of the things I've gotten interested in since I've started becoming with SLOLA. One of the things you'll find out with SLOLA, first of all, there is a heritage, as Megan talked about, there's a heritage from thousands and thousands of years that have been passed forward. We are losing that heritage at a great degree at this time, because we're moving more and more towards the hybridizing companies with these hybrids that are newly created that don't exist really except for one generation. The way they work it out, they sell you a seed, you plant the seed, you get a great harvest, but if you plant the seed of that great harvest, it won't give you the great harvest. It's simply the way they do things that they have. It's worked out the way they know when you plant that seed, you're going to get great seed, you get great corn, great beans, great broccoli. But if you save the seed, it's going to revert back to a parent you don't know about. Whereas if you grow one of our seeds and you grow it out, you save that seed properly, then you have generation after generation after generation of good seeds. Because we're going more and more to this hybrid situation, if something happens to the seed supply on back over there somewhere, we can't control what we get. We don't have the choice. We have to accept what they're going to grow for us. So as a consequence, what we're trying to do with SLOLA is to have the seed source here, right here in Los Angeles. We have a library. It exists down at Venice High School, down in West LA. But we want to have the seeds throughout the entire county. We want baby libraries, like what do they call branch libraries. We want branch libraries so that other people get a chance to save the seed, and other people get to bring the seed in. So we want to involve as many people as possible. Also, it turns out that with the way we're treating the way we grow our food out in the farms and everything is so bad that we're killing off all the bees. We don't have good sources of food because of the genetic modification. I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit worried about that. They've not done any long-term studies. We are the long-term study. We don't know what it does to the human body. We don't know what it does to the environment, really. We're going to have non-GMO, non-genetically modified seed. The way to get that is to grow it in the city, because they're not growing these seeds. They're not releasing these seeds to the city yet. They are talking about it, but they haven't done it yet. So we have the chance to grow out corn, to grow out soybeans, to grow out the things that we want to eat, that we need to eat, without genetically modified problems. That's also a point of the library. And like I said earlier, the membership is $10 for a lifetime. And that's because, and we don't know if we can do that. We don't know if we can keep that up. That's our hope. We hope to have like other fundraising activities that we will support ourselves with. But as it stands right now, we're doing okay. Of course, we're what, 6 months old? Right? So, who knows? But down the road, we could change that if we have to. But what we're trying to do right now is keep it extremely affordable for everybody, so that if you want to have good, clean seeds, you can come to SLOLA and get them. We have an old inventory on Facebook. If you befriend us on Facebook, it is the Seed Library of Los Angeles. on Facebook. And we have our own website, SLOLA.org. Once we get it up, we're going to have a current seed inventory up there before very long. It's a volunteer effort, so we can't fire anybody if they don't come through for us. So we all have jobs, and so things kind of go along a little bit wonky at times. But that's life in the big city. What can I tell you? So I really am grateful for Millie to have both Megan and I out here and get a chance to say hey to y'all and talk to you about what we've got going on. Thank you for your attention.
Can I ask you a question?
You may ask me a question. That's one, though. You're going to ask two?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Maybe one will lead into two or three or whatever.
All right.
So when we get back to seeds, do we have to clean? Well, of course I have to clean them and
It's more better if you do.
do all that
I mean,
stuff.
that would be the thing I would
How
hope
many
from.
seeds do we get back?
You can get back at least as many as you took. Our hope is you'll give us back a few more. Right? When you grow a tomato out, if you take 5, 6 seeds of a tomato, right, and you grow a tomato out, you've got 100 seeds there in one tomato. You can share it with us a little bit more. That lets us expand our.
Right, I see.
Just be good.
Yeah, I
soil.
didn't know.
And you want to stay away from hybrids, right?
Well, we have to.
Yeah.
We have to.
Because I think people, my experience at Tomato Mania,
Yeah.
I sold tomatoes there, and people still didn't get the difference between an heirloom and a hybrid. So I think that's important to know when we're saving seeds too. So you
Well,
have guidelines and stuff, right?
We're only saving seeds that are open pollinated seeds. Right. We aren't going to have any hybrids in our inventory at all.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I don't know if I want to go down this path too far, but let me just say that when we use the word hybrid, we're referring to those first-generation hybrids that they sell you in the store. They say hybrid on them.
That humans cross, right?
Well, yeah, but the truth of it is that even the open pollinators, humans cross at some point, right? They're stable hybrids. So we're looking for stable, open pollinated seeds.
And I think that's something that, I probably should have mentioned that in mine, but if, the hybrid, it's not like hybrid, sometimes I think there's some misperception about what a hybrid seed is.
Well, we use the term wrong.
Right, and people get confused with genetically modified, and they're not the same thing at all. Because there's nothing wrong with hybrid seed. Hybrid seed is great for what it is. It's great for getting big, beautiful tomatoes or whatever it is that are really uniform. It's just that they're just not applicable to the seed saving context because of the way that they've been bred. Because just in a nutshell, and if anyone wants to know this more specifically, I'm happy to go into it, but or David can too. That basically you have it's a very controlled breeding process. So they have one parent, and they know exactly its traits and its sort of genetic formula, and then they cross it with another parent, and they know its genetic formula, and then it creates this very uniform offspring, and they're usually called F1 hybrids, and it has to do with the way that they notate crosses when they do breeding. But then the issue is that then when those, because of the way that I'm trying to do this without getting into things, but the way that that genes remix in the reproductive process, then when the offspring of that generation comes out, they have a completely different genetic makeup than the parents. Things are recombined. So you're just going to get completely different traits from that F1 hybrid that you bought. So it's just not applicable to seed saving. It's not like, oh God, hybrid seeds. There's no safety thing. There's none of that like you have with genetically modified things. It's just that it's not the same thing. Does that make sense? Okay.
But there's also some, we're finding out down the road that in catalogs that seed companies are in the advertising that say this is a hybrid seed because they're going to get more money for it. And you won't save the seeds from a hybrid seed. But some of them actually are not hybrids. They're just saying they're hybrids, so you won't try to save the seed from them. So, yeah, I know. So, because of that, I'm going to go out and experiment with some of these hybrids and see if I can save the seeds.
Yeah, it's not like you can save the seed, you just don't know what you're going to get. So if you're up for a fun game of, guess what?
Right. Well, if you're not gardening in a 10 by 10 and you're growing your food in a 10 by 10, like I've got an acre to play with, right? So I can find a corner of my acre and grow a couple of the one I really want to try is yellow tomato, golden something is a paste tomato, gold paste tomato from Berkeley. I want to try that as my first one because I love those yellow paste tomatoes. All right, folks, any more questions? All right, give it a hand. Good job.